Hey guys, Vretson here with a quick Great Weapon Fighter video for those who are new to level 70 or for those at level 70 but a little under-geared and looking to improve. First thing we'll start with is the ability points. Your initial roll should look something like 20 Strength, 15 Dex, 13 Constitution. You could also go with 18 Strength, 18 Dex, 12 Constitution. Either would work fine. But in order to get that, you'll need to roll either as a half-orc or a dragonborn. When you're leveling, all your ability points should be input into strength and dex, increasing your bonus damage and increasing your critical chance. Quick look at the feats. The heroic feats are pretty basic. Powerful challenge is a must, dealing additional damage to marked targets. With Mod 13, there is a rework coming to Mighty Blade. This will be a must now for all Great Weapon Fighters, as it will increase the damage of Weapon Master Strike in mob situations. No points in Battle Fury yet, as new to 70s probably aren't ready to run this yet. Let's take a look at stats. Most Great Weapon Fighters will tell you focus on your power and crit. They're not wrong, but they're also not right. Initially, when you hit 70, or if you're at 70 already and can't figure out why you're not dealing enough damage, it's possible that your resistance ignored or now defenses ignored are not up to where they need to be. These days, you need to get that up to 85% in combat. Now, how do you test where it's at in combat? Come over to a test dummy and give a quick attack. Your companion will go in, maybe, and attack and proc your companion's gift. Now you'll notice a big increase in your stats. Scroll down here to your offensive and healing and look at your defenses ignored, which is the same as resistance ignored, 86.5. That is enough to deal the maximum damage you're capable of dealing. Okay, let's reset that there. So once your armor pen, resistance ignored, defenses ignored, whatever you want to call it, is up to 85%, your next focus should be on critical strike or power. Ideally, both. But first, focus on your crit strike and getting that as high as possible. Azure enchants offensively are great. Brutals are okay as well. Eventually, Brutals will be best in slot. Let's take a look at some armor. Now, initially, you're going to have to build up your resistance ignored, which means you got to increase your armor pen. The easiest gear to obtain with armor pen will be League gear. You can take a look at that in your zone rewards in the Cholt section. The assault gear always has armor pen on it. Easiest way to increase your armor pen to where you need it to be. If you happen to have trade bars, you can purchase Pilgrim armor from the trade bar store. If you don't have trade bars, you can still obtain the headpiece. Just go to the auction house and search for Pilgrim, and you will see the head pack, which gives you a chance at either the assault or the raid. Ideally, the assault is what you want. How about the powers to use? For those new to 70, there aren't a whole lot of powers you're going to want to be using. There's a basic setup. That setup includes Daring Shout, Hidden Daggers, Indomitable Battle Strike as your encounter powers. Your at-wills, Sure Strike, Weapon Master Strike. in your class features, Destroyer, and Weapon Master. Your dailies aren't super important, but Crescendo is one of the better ones, so we'll go ahead and put that in. Now, why Daring Shout? Daring Shout, as you will see here, marks targets. Now remember, in your feats, Powerful Challenge, you deal 15% more damage to mark targets. That's why you want to mark the targets, so you will deal more damage to them. Now, great weapon fighters need lots of self buffs. So if you go into combat without self buffs and you just attack with an IBS, it's a no-no, but lots do it. 27,000 damage. Didn't crit. Even if it had, it's not going to be that much more. Maybe up to 50,000. So you want to make sure that you always self-buff and debuff your enemies. And you got your self-buff of Daring Shout, which marks the targets, increases your damage against marked targets. It also grants you combat advantage. Weapon Master Strike, the At Will, is an enemy debuff. Lowers their defenses. Also, if you remember from your feats, Staying Power, Weapon Master Strike now also reduces your target's mitigation to your encounter powers by 10%. So, that is a powerful debuff. Now this is an important part of the beginning of your rotation, your first 3 actions. Your Daring Shout, your Weapon Master Strike, and your Hidden Daggers. Hidden Daggers is a big damage buff, increasing your damage by 40%. Now that's your basic start to the rotation. Now we'll go ahead and go through a full rotation once the marks have expired. Okay, here we go. Shout, Weapon Master, Daggers. Your determination is full. If it's not full, you build it up with Sure Strike. Now we're going to wait again for the marks to expire, and then we'll go through the full rotation. Shout, Weapon Master, Daggers, Sure Strike, Unstoppable, Weapon Master, IBS. And then you spam your at-wills until things have expired. Weapon Master, Daggers, Determination, Weapon Master, IBS. About 2 times through the rotation, your mark will expire, so you need to replace it. Shout, Weapon Master, Daggers, Sure Strike to build it up, Weapon Master again, and IBS. Hits from much higher than it did when you just let in with combat. Shout, Weapon Master, Daggers, Unstoppable, IBS. Then spam your at-wills until you see it's left your bar. Pretty basic stuff. I remember the one daily you have that's pretty good is Crescendo. And try to work that in there somehow. Crescendo is a pretty good way to increase your determination very quickly to go unstoppable again. You can also do the same thing with Indomitable Battle Strike. I don't know what the reason is, but apparently sometimes IBS does not like to actually damage enemies. So let's see what kind of determination Crescendo builds. And rotation. Once we get to the bottom, once our determination's expired, we will cast Crescendo. Fills up about half. That's not too bad. Okay guys, it's just a quick little beginner's guide to great weapon fighters at level 70, and those a little undergeared at 70 looking to improve. Until next time, have a great day.